Welcome to Let's Chat About Life with Nick and Dana.
Hello, everybody. We are halfway through teaching our social boundaries program, and we thought it was a good time to kind of take a beat on what we're doing. And so, Nick, what role do you have in that class?
Co-teacher,
So, you're a co teacher. What does that mean? What are you doing?
like I help with students for their work.
You help the students with work. In what
Yeah.
way? When we're on our Zooms, let's say. What kind of things do you do?
Like examples.
Oh, yeah, you give examples.
Yeah,
That is a good part of what you do. So what did we gave examples? Oh, sometimes we stand up and give examples too, right?
yeah.
Okay, that's fun. Yes, so the social boundaries class is based on Circle's curriculum. And for those of you who are outside of this world that we are operating in, Circles is it's kind of a system for understanding how to navigate through your world, recognizing that people have different social distance from you. And based on that distance, you're going to change how you talk, trust, and touch people. And so what's the circle that we start with?
Purple.
So the purple circle, yep, the sign for purple circle, that is the innermost circle. And who's in that circle?
Yourself.
Can I be in your circle? Your
No,
purple? Are you
no.
can Oliver?
No.
Okay. So the private purple circle is only for you. And the rules for that circle are pretty simple because it's only you. And the idea is that you are the boss of your world of circles. That is the circle map we're creating. And so you get to decide how you talk, trust, and touch. And so for most people, we just say, well, you can say whatever you want to yourself. You walk around your life with your private thoughts and feelings, and you get to decide which of those you share. And you can trust yourself because you are in control of yourself. And if you ever have questions, you can ask family members. And then in terms of touch, it's your body, so you get to decide what level of touch you want to accept. And so for Nick and I, we're both big huggers. It's pretty easy. But for Lauren, Nick's sister, she is not a big hugger. So as part of her being the boss of her purple private circle, she doesn't really love hugs. So she gets to say, hey, yeah, no, if you want to hug me, just quick, not too tight. She doesn't like it. So it really helps you understand how to navigate. What's the next circle that we did?
Blue.
The blue. And who's in that circle?
Your family.
So all family or just your immediate family?
Just your mini family.
Yeah. So the blue circle is called the big blue hug circle. And in that circle, it's really your immediate family or people that you live with and you see daily and you have very strong ties to. And did you just do the sign? Did I miss it? The sign?
Yeah.
Okay. And we always say that the purple is just you, so there's no room for you to hug anyone else. But when you get to the blue circle, there's room to fit a family member in, right?
Yes.
And so when we are talking about the blue circle, it's your family. It's people who are the closest to you in the world. And so you can talk to them about anything that you want to. And we've even gone, yesterday we were talking in class that you should talk to them if there's something that's worrying you, if there's something exciting you want to share, if there's something that you have questions about, even if you notice something on your body that doesn't feel right, if you have, a lump or a bump or a bruise or a cut, or you have a stomach ache, whatever it might be, communicating that to your family is really important because they can't help you if they don't know that something's going on with your body. So talk about anything. You can trust your family's going to be there to support you. And then, of course, in terms of touch, for family members, unless you've got Lauren as a sister, you can touch, and it's not a weird thing to reach out and touch. Whereas if you've got someone far away in the stranger space, there's no touching there. So, warm hugs that are loving but not romantic, and just really being able to show emotion however you do. That's kind of where we are when we're in that blue circle. Then what's the next circle?
Green.
Okay. Who do you put in your green circle?
Your close friends and your aunts and uncles and cousins.
That's exactly it. So your relatives are in that green faraway hug space, and then your closest friends. And so there are 6 deciding factors that help you figure out if a friend belongs in that circle, because you've got your purple circle, your blue, and then what's the sign for green? Yeah, faraway hug circle like this. Well, you're not going to give everybody that you know a hug. You're not even going to give people who are your peers or acquaintances a hug if they're not close to you. So the green circle is for your closest friends and for your relatives. And again, for this circle, it's a little bit more distant than your immediate family that you live with, but you can share a lot of interesting personal things, news. You can have great discussions with your closest friends and family members. That's still very close to you in terms of the circles map. So you can talk about a lot of things. You probably won't want to talk about your family members too much, about private things that relate to them, because those are, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, or what happens within your family on a day-to-day basis. Unless you have permission from your parents, you probably don't want to share that. We get some funny discussions in class where students will definitely overshare from that space of that blue circle about, fights between siblings or parents, etc. And those kind of things we want to make sure that we're keep holding close to the vest, right? We're not sharing that stuff. But the green circle is still, it's your best friends, the people that you share really important things with, and your family members. It could be a grandparent, an uncle, an aunt, a cousin, and you can trust that they would not do anything to harm you on purpose, and that they will help you to the extent they can in situations. And then touch is a little different from the blue circle, because blue circle can be full on body hugs, right? You're not really being careful. Nick, we'll be watching a show, Nick will throw his legs on my lap just to, give a massage or tickle. So there's a lot closer touch in the blue. In the green, it's more what we call a faraway hug. So if this is a blue hug, then green might be like that. So you come together on top, and you give the couple pats. It's a very warm and loving hug, but it's not quite the same as when Nick gives me a giant bear hug and picks me off the ground, that kind of thing. So that's the green, and we've covered that in class as well. And then the one we just did on Wednesday night was, what color?
Yellow.
Yeah, exactly. So for the yellow, who do we put in our yellow circle? Yep, it's a hand. You're right. The sign is the handshake. Yeah. Who lives there? What kind of people? What did we just talk about in class?
Like people who give interviews.
People who give you an interview.
Like jobs.
Okay. I would say that if someone's interviewing you, they're not necessarily in that circle. I would think that they would be somebody that's maybe in the red space. It's someone that you might be meeting for the very first time, and you have a business purpose. So we're going to talk about that one. How about, let's say, the Whalens or Bob Wilson or...
Oh, yes, neighbors.
Neighbors. Okay. And then who else? We're going to stop at neighbors because we didn't talk about the next group in class yet. So we just ended up with neighbors. And the yellow handshake circle is still a friendly place to be, but you don't go around hugging all your neighbors. Sometimes you don't even know their names. So handshake if you know them better, or it might just be a wave. It might just be a head nod. And the idea is that you have more small talk with people who are in the yellow circle. Now, if it's a neighbor that's over at your house all the time and your family's very, very close to them, the rules change. But at least when we lay out the rules the first time, we like to be very specific so that it feels more concrete. And then, as we know, as you get older, people can move from one circle to another. It might be your best friend for a while who you no longer keep in touch with. And then you still have fond feelings, but they move to a further out circle. So anyway, Nick, you can't possibly, this is going to be the trademark. Every time we do this, you're going to yawn. Anyway, he's actually sick. He's got a fever right now. So he's indulging me by doing this. You feeling okay?
A little bit.
Okay. We'll let you rest after we're done. We both have been sick all week. And so we didn't get to do this yet. But I didn't want to not put something out today, right? We needed to do something, right, Nick?
Yes.
Okay. So I probably blabbed too long. I'm excited about the Circles curriculum only because it really feels to me that if we equip our loved ones, particularly with Down syndrome or developmental disabilities, with tools to help navigate the world in a socially appropriate way, that they will be more successful. And what we see often is adults who perhaps are hugging people that aren't in an appropriate hug circle. And some people will say, oh, that's so sweet, or people with Down syndrome are so loving. And that's just a stereotype that isn't even true, right? Because if we look at it, it's the whole realm of human emotion and experience for people with Down syndrome as everyone else. And so to say, oh, they're so loving, it's okay for an adult with Down syndrome to give a hug to an adult that they don't know. No, it's not. We have to have high behavioral standards. We have to do good instruction, and we'll see where we take this topic. But I feel like the 15 students that we work with every week, they're really getting an understanding of it. And there's safety there, because what we're focused on, actually, because we're ahead in our face-to-face class, is last night we were talking about health workers. So they are often strangers, and we'll come back and do another recap for the people who are watching, who are in the class. But in that situation, the touch is only medical, and you only talk about things that relate to why you're visiting that professional. So it might be someone you've never met, but there are specific rules for how you engage. And you wouldn't have a nurse take your temperature and your vitals and then give her a hug, or really have her touching you in any way that isn't medical. So there are safety implications for this. Particularly, we were talking about when you stay alone, how you know how to handle it when the doorbell rings. So we'll cover that in a different episode. But anyway, I hope for those of you who are not involved that this doesn't seem too strange or it isn't boring to you, but it really is a pretty powerful way to picture the people around you and how to appropriately engage with them. Oh, we're doing that again. Okay, you must be feeling better if you're copying me again. All right, do you have anything else to say about circles or examples or ways you think it empowers you?
Empowers me any other way.
In what way?
Like helping.
It empowers you by helping you?
Yes.
Does it by giving you what?
Like what?
I just throw them on the spot. We should probably talk about these things before I just throw you on the spot, honey. I'm sorry. So do you feel like you have a better understanding of how to deal with people in the world? Okay, you do. And do you like teaching this class?
Yes.
All right, good. And it's been so fun because we're meeting young teens and adults with Down syndrome from across the country. And they participate in the beginning. And yes, I'm talking about you if you're watching this. But in the beginning, it was very much parents and students face to face during the Zooms. And now I've noticed that the parents are moving a little bit out of the main frame, and the students are interacting a lot more, don't you think?
Yeah.
So we'll see all of you next Wednesday. And in the meantime, have the week you need. We'll be back. Anything else?
No.
All right, we're going to sign out.
All right.
All right, take care, everybody.
Take care.
What?